to Good Vibes Goddess Tarot. So today I'm doing a general collective reading, but it's still random. I don't have any questions. Okay? We're just gonna see what comes out. So we have, I don't know how to say this, so I'm not gonna, it's like Venescence? Venescence? But we have romance, soulmates, and empathy. Oh, it's the shadow. I was like, what? It was the camera. I was like, I've never seen. And then we have vegans with solidarity, independence, and peace. A true soulmate connection isn't very codependent. There's independence. A codependent relationship is you feel like you need the other person in order to survive, to breathe, to live, to be okay. That's very needy and clingy and codependent. That's not okay. It's very toxic. Here we have the fire element with warrior, passion, and fearlessness. Right, with this independent, you feel powerful. You're like fearless. You are trying to get control of your own life and work on what you have to do to have like peace within inside yourself and your environment. And you're trying to find people, right? Like I said before, like she doesn't need him to be okay and to survive and stuff like that. Doesn't mean that she doesn't love him. You can still have love for them, but just like your world or your life doesn't end because they're not in it. And then we have air element, philosophy, discrimination, and empathy. Empathy is being open to seeing both sides of the situation, right? But you are open with empaths. They are open to other people's feelings, and they feel their own feelings, but they can also like take themselves and put themselves in that person's shoes and understand what they felt, why they feel that way, and then also like if that situation happened to them, it brings up that same the past situation and brings it up and some, and then they have that feelings, and then the feelings that you had that ties into it and mixed together with it. It's just like it's very codependent feelings tying and mixing together, right? Now you're mad because that person mad, and they're mad because you're mad. It's just no. It's codependent. Don't have to do that. My feelings does not. Just because you're mad, I don't have to be mad. Our feelings are not linked or tied together. Now, like certain situations, is very sad and very like, it causes you to cry, it causes you to be angry, it causes you to be mad. That's fine. That's good. But our feelings are not linked. Just because I'm mad and nothing went wrong in your day, you don't know why I'm mad. You just see that I'm mad, and all of a sudden now you're mad too because I'm mad. No, 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 no. Then we have alchemy, the philosopher's stone, infinite destiny, magic. And then we had the air element was philosophy. Like if I think something and the way I think or agree with it isn't really your point of view, and you don't just like flip and switch it because we're together. Like no, you have your own views, I have my own views. Like we can all see that the sky is blue, right? But from time to time the sky is pink. But if I just come to you and be like, the sky is pink all the time, what are you talking about? Pink skies all day, right? You're not gonna correct me and tell me that the sky is blue. And the sky is blue majority of the time. 90% of the time. If it's not blue, it's gray. Like it's cloudy. Okay, it's rare. Like it's not like pink or purple all the time. So it's just like you don't change your like change your values or your beliefs just over one person. Your feelings and your emotion just doesn't switch just because you see that somebody's mad. And then we have men in black with stalking, intimidation, and confrontation. And then we have that little red light, green light, yellow light that going on back there. Also, with soulmates being here, an actual like soulmate or a twin flame, they wouldn't stalk you or try to intimidate you. They wouldn't do that. Oh, let me get my little handed. I made new notes. I keep bringing it out. And I keep moving it every time I bring it out and put it in a different place. Okay? So, it's down. The stalking, intimidating, and confrontation, that mostly go with restrictions. Would you not? Would you not say that is being restricted? You can't do what you want to do, right? And there's distrust. Would you not also say that there's distrust? Pull this one out. There's distrust. You're feeling drained, anxiety, um, discrimination, right? That's karmic and a false flame. Okay, a karmic is a very intense attraction. Can't see it. Very intense attraction, addictions, a bad girl, bad boy persona, arguments that with harsh words that result into sex, breakups, obsession, and stress restricted, jealousy, isolation, name calling, lies, purely physical, and there's cheating. Now, both a twin flame and a karmic will trigger you and bring your wounds to the surface. But a twin flame, once you heal that wound or that whatever caused this triggering, right? Whatever that is, once you heal it, your twin flame connections deepens, right? That's when we have twin flame unions, happiness, right? Y'all come back together. With a karmic, once you learn and heal that wound, the relationship is over. Done. Finito. There's nothing else for you to learn. Right? But they trigger you for you to learn it, to heal it, right? But I'm gonna read it. Okay. Let me read karmics. Says attraction based on a shared wound or a toxic trait. Once you heal this pattern or learn the lesson, you will no longer feel physically or emotionally attached to them. The end of a karmic contract, right, is no null and void. Time is like you paid off the debt. Time is served. You can be free. like, enters your life to trigger one specific pattern or dynamic within your life or yourself so that you can heal it. And then it says an ill-fated connection that is meant to mirror your darkest energy and redirect your souls towards its highest good, not before destroying a part of you. Right? And it's also not an easy relationship, yet it's very hard to let go, brought together to teach you a lesson that you failed to learn in previous lifetimes. All right? And there's a push and pull dynamic wherein the twin flame situation, there's a runner and chaser. And like I said over here in the other video that I have with twin flames, there's a separation period. So during the separation period, there's endless agony and frustration. There's emotional desolation, longing for your twin flame, right? You purging of anger and taming the ego, regret, and thinking of your twin flame 24/7, and very vivid dreams. Twin flame. Someone who shares the same souls with you, breathtaking connections filled with synchronicities, everything about yourself that you have been running from is suddenly right in front of you. Yeah, mirror each other, but what is mirrored back is the parts of yourself that you don't really like or not comfortable with. The wounded parts of you is what's being reflected back in your twin flame. So that's why if you heal it, y'all now together. Surrender and let go. Stage 7. In the separation period. Purge of anger. Tame the ego. Alright, and y'all let it go. And then they have regret. And that's how y'all come back together. Because they regret it. But triggers happen for the purpose of deep level soul healing and evolution. Twin flames activate our soul's growth or unite our soul growth, igniting a spiritual awakening. As we healed within, the connection deepen and grow stronger. Right. Now it could be a twin flame soulmate. They feel like home to you. Soul recognition, feel familiar. You have similar values. Synchronicitous meeting, like I just bump into each other out of nowhere, and it's like I feel like I knew you forever. And it's just like you probably did in a past life. 6 of Cups, right? Oh, but karmic soulmates, because we have that here, we have several. For karmic soulmates, right? See, now I just read the whole thing. Soulmates can be platonic or romantic. Relationship with a soulmate is usually warm, comforting, and easy. If it's hard, okay, and difficult, let it go, bro. Like, it's just let it go. And then we have tend to offset or like your strengths, right? It seems to be their weakness, and whatever you're weak in is their strength. You complement each other. And it said co-balance, and then it was just like counterbalance, and it's just like that doesn't sound right to me. So that's complementary, right? You complement each other. Supports, very supportive emotionally, or even materially, or both, without challenging your current comfort zone. They do not push you out of your comfort zone. An instant connection. You feel like you have known this person before. Usually easy relationships tend to be the one that you married, and also teach you about self-love. And pretty much the same thing I said over here. Take a little picture. Keep it with you. But false flames is fleeting. Okay? False flame is just a trick. It's not a real twin flame. It's not your actual person or lover or anything. Nothing. Okay? A false flame puts you down. Okay? There's turmoil. It triggers you. There's very narrow vision, very narrow-minded. There's resentment. And you can never give unconditional love. There's radio silence. Your intuition doesn't say nothing. Nothing. Just mute. Quiet. Right? You don't get a read on the person. And we have anxiety and restless or unable to rest or sleep, be comfortable. And we have distrust and feeling drained. How to move on from a false flame. You have to realize that it is a false flame. Acknowledge it. Realize that this is not, it's not what it's supposed to be. It's, it wouldn't be this hard. Okay? And then stop giving to it emotionally or physically, financially, whatever it is. Stop giving it to it so it no longer drains you. And then see the good in it. That this person don't have to be in your life anymore. They're just here for like a season. They would know they was literally in your life for one specific reason, and I had to make sure I make the sound just in case you'll be like Pacific. No, specific reason, and that's the good thing. They're not here for a lifetime, so allow them to leave. And those that are meant to be here for a lifetime will be here for a lifetime. And you clear yourself of those karma, which is whatever philosophy that you have picked up from them. Release that and let it go. And be strong and loving yourself unconditionally. Alright, now back to our lucky our regular scheduled programming. Next we have, there is no greater achievements in life than pushing yourself to the limits always. Isn't that so? Isn't that so? That's all there is to it. And that's from Ropa. I don't fully remember his name, but he was a harmonica. Danganronpa 1. 2 is a video game that you kind of sort of have to watch or you can play. But yeah, and then Danganronpa 3 is pretty much synopsis or something, like explain both of them. And then we have, who are you calling cute? Buttercup. From Powerpuff Girls. And next we have, oh my god, I'm the problem, Diane from BoJack Horseman. And yes, she was. But at least she was able to accept it, acknowledge it, and realize it. And then try to get help and change it and fix it. That's what the steps. That's what you do. First step is acceptance. You have to acknowledge it, accept it, be like, yeah, I am the problem. I am contributing to the problem, okay? Like I said before, you have to realize this is a false flame. You're contributing to a false flame. Or trying to make it a real twin flame or a real soulmate connection, and it will not be that, because that is not what it's meant to be. Like, if I have ingredients to make a vanilla, nope. If I have ingredients to make a chocolate cake, there we go, right? I can't make a vanilla cake. I can take the chocolate out of it, but I'm not going to get all the chocolate out of it. So I can't make a vanilla cake. That's not the materials that I have. Okay? The soulmate, or actual real twin flame soulmate, right? Could be a twin flame soulmate, or it could just be simply a soulmate. Either way. A real one, because I saw the fire, so that's why I was like, right, but either way. A real one has the material and all the stuff of a real one. If it's fake and false and like a duplicate, it doesn't have all the real materials of the first, like the original thing. Because it's just a knockoff. Right? So you have to if you want the real thing, let go of the knockoff, stop giving to the knockoff, save up, which is healing, to get the original, true, real thing. And then we have Little Miss Shit Talker. And then we have, these came out together, so I'm gonna read them together. Seeing that they flipped over together. Little Miss Sleep All Day. And then we have, I just decided being sad is a waste of time. You see, a more productive way of my more productive use of my time is revenge. And that's from Jackie Burkhart from That 70s Show. Or you can look at her and think Meg. That works too. Either way, works. But trying to seek revenge, yeah, you definitely the problem. Because you just welcoming karma into your life. For what? Just let karma do what it gotta do. Because karma can destroy people's life better than you can. So just let karma do it. Because if you try to seek revenge, now karma's gonna destroy their life and your life. Or it could simply with this revenge, focusing on yourself, loving yourself the right way, in a way that they can never could. That's another revenge. Actually being healed, independent, at peace with yourself, your environment, loving yourself. Some people can find that intimidating because they can't use you, charm you, mislead you, lie to you. You see right through that. And they like those people that try to manipulate you, they will find you intimidating because they can't. You know who you are. You're not letting somebody determine your value and or your integrity. You know what your integrity is, what you value, and your boundaries and your standards, and you're not just throwing them out in the window and just throwing caution to the wind because of somebody else. And then these two was out together. So we have ditch the guilt and ditch the guilt for taking a break. What? Ditch the guilt for taking a break. That's what it said. But in the garbage is guilt, and the guilt is saying, "Hey, you're not doing enough." Like this, the guilt. Take a break. Could have added the four. Like what? But then another card that came out with it was, "My personality is who I am. My attitude depends on who you are." And that's great facts. I'm not changing my person. Like I said before, if you accept yourself, you love yourself, and you know who you are, those people that doesn't know who they are, very feel inadequate, want to manipulate people, bring them down, degrade them, they'll be intimidated by you and feel like you're the problem because they can't manipulate you, like I said before. But you're really not the problem because somebody can't manipulate you. That's a good thing. Who wants to be manipulated? Nobody. And if you are being manipulated, you have to realize that, acknowledge that, stop giving to it, set healthy boundaries for yourself. Okay? So those people cannot have access to you, to manipulate you. Right, next we have Little Miss Can't Communicate. You can't communicate to talk shit. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, you can't communicate your needs, your desire, what you actually want that will make you happy, but you can talk shit about other people and degrade them. Like, come on now, what we doing? What we doing? Misery likes company. And some people don't want to be around that. Like, oh my God, I am the problem. Yes. Find out why you're miserable. And next we have, you are the only one who can bring color into my dull gray ash. That is my heart. And that is from Vampire Nights. And then the next one is phrasing from Archer. But like it says here, with my attitude depend on who you are. If you can't communicate how the person makes you feel, and you're just supposed to read their minds, just be able to feel everything. It's just like what I'm feeling, what I'm picking up on is that you don't care. If you did care, you would tell me. Because I can't read your mind. Like, just because we might finish each other's sentences and stuff like that, I can, like, draw conclusions and be like, this was happening, this is what you're doing, and I think this was happening, this is, right? And then you, like, after I say all this, you be like, oh, yeah, that is what's happening. Then it's just like, okay, fine. But that does not mean that I just be clueless all the time, like, for me to do that. No. I'm not doing that. Nobody got to do that. That's not okay. Communicate. Like, you need to communicate. Like, you got to. Nobody got time for that shit, bro. Right? And then these two came out together. Almost read them separately. Right? But we have keys on a ring with many options, decisions, unconventional, string along, and one night stand. And then we have separation with sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, and unsure of the future. Now, I did say, right. Twin flame situation, y'all have a separation period. And I showed you what happens in a separation period, right? With it being unconventional and stringing you along, you see how it comes back to a false flame? Like, in a karmic, like, twin flame, okay? Because isn't that lying? Yeah. You see, you're, right? And everybody has stalking. You see how it's false flame? Just learn the lesson that you need to learn and just set yourself free. The good thing is you don't need this in your life all the time. It's not going to be there all the time. You heal your wounds, stop suppressing them, your life will get better. Be less karmics that you will meet. You will attract actual soulmates. They be like it's one twin flame to each person. I don't know. Each his own, okay? Because there's twin flame soulmates. It's just like how you really tell the difference. So it's just like, and then your soulmate, their soulmates is like romantic and platonic. So it's just like, you can technically have more than one twin flame when you really think about it that way. So it's just like, but you have less karmics the more you heal. Less wounds that you will have to, like, that will trigger you to cause you to grow and learn or destroy you. And then we have miracles. Right? You learn those lessons. You get out of this karmic situation, this karmic contract. Stop giving to it. Your life gets better. And then this person just becomes like a thought. or not even a thought. Like, probably like a thought right now, later on become like an afterthought to just simply who? Like it's just, so. And then it's a yellow card, which is all about your solar plexus. And your solar plexus is about your success, your passion, your happiness, taking actions, and stuff like that. And we also have this fire with this warrior, passionate, and fearless. Like, and we also have magic. You have to believe in the impossible. That this person is not the end all be all. And you thinking that you're contributing to the problem and just staying there and dealing with something that is going to hurt you. And we have creations. And this is a great card. This is a great card, which is your crown chakra. And your crown chakra is connection to source and realizing that everything is connected and is happening for a reason. Right? We also have like the little moon here. Right? Some people might the magic you have or just simply loving yourself. Okay? Very intimidating. Like Empress energy that could be very intimidating to people that's out of balance. Then it's like, if they're out of balance, do you really want them? Do you want out of balance people around you? It's pros and cons. Pros and cons. Like, then we have balance. Right? Those unbalanced people turn away and they're upset and they're mad. Why? Because you balancing yourself and you stable and you grounded. You know who you are. You're connected to yourself, higher self, your body, your emotions and all that. You're not letting anybody project their problems onto you, right? You accept yourself as you are, who you are, and you realize that you have some problems and some flaws and you working through them. And you're not allowing anybody to, like I said, project their problems, fill your head up with guilt, shame, doubt, or anything like that, because you can do that for yourself. And you already know once you heal that and you work on whatever that is, you come to terms with that, you're good. You're rocking with it. And some people might be intimidated by it because where before were they able to like use you, manipulate you, now they can't because you see through them, right? And you have these boundaries up. And focus on what the life that you want to have and you want to create. And then we have gossip. See, they were saying just trying to gossip about you. The green card. Oh, the purple is your intuition. Your third chakra. Well, your third chakra. Your third eye, which is your intuition, your spiritual gifts, and your spiritual abilities. And I was pointing to the moon, right? Because the moon is very psychic, very spiritual. But it could also be secrets. So somebody could be secretly stalking you, right? And watching you out of intimidation and trying to get information out of you. Or try to like manipulate you to try to get information about so they can gossip. And spread little rumors or talk about you with little Miss Shit Talker. But yet, in this situation, you feel me? It's just like, why you gossiping? Because if the tables is turned and people start telling your story, you be mute. You see it? So it's just like, maybe don't do that. If you're not balanced yourself. If you're struggling in something, why are you talking about somebody else's struggle? Because they struggle can quickly become your struggles. Worry about what's on your plate. Don't worry about what's on their plate. Okay? Okay. Because we have this house back here. Worry about what's happening in your household, not their household. Because somebody talk about what's going on in your household, you will be hurt. Right? And then we have service, which is an orange card. And, the green is your heart center. And your heart is the bridge between the upper three, your crown, your third eye, and your throat. There's another card. Oh, there's another card. Hold on. Right, and then we have complacency. Exactly. Like I said, if somebody starts talking about your house, you gonna be hurt. Because you're not happy there. Okay, so it's just like, why are you gossiping about somebody else's misfortunes and laughing about that because as if your misfortunes isn't as bad as theirs. Funny enough, you have almost all the chakras except blue, and blue is the throat. With Little Miss can't communicate exactly. You can talk shit about other people, gossip about them, but you can't work on what you need to work on. That's very like you like I don't know what to say to that because I want to say it's toxic, but I know like some people won't be like alone. How is that toxic? Like that's mad toxic. Why are you talking about somebody behind their back or even to their face trying to degrade them and bring them down because like your life is any better? That's why it's toxic and very contradicting. Scales aren't balanced. We're not on equal footing nor equal ground. We're not even on the same level. So it's just like you could gossip about people, laugh about them, rather than asking for help. But that intimidation, you sitting here gossiping about them, spreading rumors about them, but little with this service card, they might have some setbacks, but once they heal, get better, pick themselves up, they surpass you and blow you out the water. And that's the real problem with this complacency. They, you letting, not even that you letting them make you feel like insecure or inadequate, but because you feel small around them, you want them to feel small as you feel. But little do you know, we're not on the same page. And if I'm balanced inside myself, I would realize that. You see, like you trying to bring me down. Half the times why I laugh in people's face because it's just like, what are you doing? What's your problem? Then sometimes you can even ask like, what's your problem? Right? And then it becomes because they don't have a problem with you. They're intimidated by you, but they don't want you to know that. Why? Because if you know that, then they would have to admit that they feel inadequate, that you have something that they don't got. But if you gossiping about other people's misfortune and thinking that shit is funny while you going through your own little struggle, stop that shit. Shit's not cute. Everybody have obstacles and hurdles and challenges. Everybody gotta pick themselves up from time to time. And then we have kindness. You are a humanitarian made of love, and you are able to share that energy with others. Right? Exactly. Well, like I said before, they probably pick themselves up, get balance within themselves, start healing, right, and blow you out the water. And they do it kindly and respectfully, like, and then that gonna hurt even more, like, cause with that moon card, like not the moon, but with the moon that I'm here, they could be healing in secret, fighting something in secret, building back up that confidence that they have, like that they whatever they got to do to get back to where they once were. And then once they get there, they're going to continue going. Where you sitting here worried about them, focusing on them and not focusing on what's going on in your household and trying to fix that. You think they sleeping all day, little do you know they're not. Okay? You sitting here worried about revenge, focusing on them when they're not focusing on you. Okay? And then we have service again. I feel good when I help others. So rather than gossiping, actually help the person. Gossiping is not helping it. You're literally just letting people know that you're a gossip. You spread rumors. And see these people, do they look happy? You're happy spreading other people's gossip and rumors. But these people are not happy, and they gonna look at you like, oh, all she does is gossip about other people, talk about other people's business. She just a shit talker. I'm not gonna tell her my business, and if they do tell you their business, they'll probably tell you a lie, and then You go out and you spread that, and they know who exactly said it. Now that came and bit you in the ass. Now you all have no friends sitting by your lonesome, trees dried up. Like I said, everybody have their hurdles and they challenge and their downfall. You don't have to try to make somebody feel even worse for their downfall. Because if somebody starts talking about your downfalls, you will feel bad. So why would you do that to somebody else? Don't. You just welcome yourself to karma. Just focus on yourself. Okay? Okay. Then we have loneliness. I know that I'm never alone. Like I said, everybody got challenges. Everybody have hurdles. Have obstacles, misfortunes, and all that. No one's alone in that. No one's alone. And then we have acceptance. You are ready to release control of the situation or people and lovingly embrace the rhythm of life. With this balance here, also made another thing that I'm going to read. Right, and then we have prioritize. You understand the primary importance of manifesting love in all situations. And then we have evolution. You are making the conscious decision to raise your vibration to love. Okay. Before I get to the tarot. Out of balance, feminine energy. Look at it. Okay, they're controlling, critical, demanding, manipulative, overgiving, people pleasers, low self-worth, low self-esteem and stuff like that. Sacrifice their self, has no boundaries, afraid to speak their truth. Little miss can't communicate. Okay? Compromise their integrity and values, easily attached to things. Stuck in victimhood, waiting for a savior or waiting to be saved. Drowning in their emotions. Now, on balance, masculine energy. And even if you're a female, you still have masculine energy in you. Even if you're a dude, you still have feminine energy in you. Right? Just feelings, honestly. But males, aggressive, confrontational, controlling, critical, extremely critical, unstable, unsupportive, emotionally unavailable, and constant inner and outer conflict. Very reactive, selfish, need to be right all the time, and stuck in their mind and afraid of failures. Right? Now, if you're balanced female energy, you can change the flow of your emotions, control your feelings. Very compassionate connection. Right? Connected to other people. Right? Nurturing, understanding, vulnerable. Warm, have self-confidence, self-love. Attend to your own needs and set personal boundaries and healthy boundaries. Now, for the male side. Right, we have their church, decisive direction, driven protection and stability and supportive. But this gossip here, and like I said, there's no blue. And these are the chakras. You have the crown, third eye, the heart, solar plexus, sacral chakra, root chakra, you're not expressing and are speaking your truth because either you feel inadequate in some way, shape, or form. You have guilt here, which is in your sacral chakra. Okay? That's because your chakra is how you feel about yourself. You know? So it's like you talking about other people, laughing at them and their misfortune and trying to bring them down, spreading rumors and stuff like that. You're not doing a service to anybody. Nobody. Not to yourself. No, we also had confrontation here. See? What size was that on? Unbalanced. Out of balance. See how balance is here? Because you're not. Or somebody's not. Balance. Situation is imbalance. They gotta separate it, free it. With this, oh my god, I'm the problem. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So now going into tarot, we have the King of Pentacles. Now if it's just straight facts, that's not gossiping. That's just you stating facts. Okay? But then gossip wouldn't be here. And just because it's a fact that you know and you're aware of it doesn't mean that you have to go and tell everybody. Share it with the world. As like a service public announcement. We didn't ask you to do that. You don't have to. But the King of Pentacles is all about status, wealth. And then we have the Ten of Wands, which is all about burdens. And then we have the Five of Pentacles, being out in the cold. Feeling like you lack of something. Struggles. Also, in the Five of Pentacles, this person followed them out in the cold. So you follow somebody. First, like, or you with some, you follow this person for a status or materialistic reasons, and now you are burdened, and you out in the cold, or you feel out in the cold in certain situations with this complacency. You're not happy where you're at. You feel burdened and stressed out. Now let's see the next card. See, Ace of Swords. I mean, that's the truth. See? Now it's something about if it's the truth, then you're not gossiping. Gossip is different than the truth. But the Ace of Swords is also like a reconciliation energy, but it's a truth and an aha moment, an epiphany, sense of clarity. Like with this, oh my god, I'm the problem. Clarity. You follow somebody out in the cold for materialistic reasons or superficial reasons. And that could be why you're staying in it, even though you may not be happy, and not communicating the fact that you're not happy. Because the King of Swords holds the Ace of Swords, just like the Queen of Swords also holds the Ace of Swords. And the Queen and King of Swords, they have very high morals. Okay, they speak the truth and very logical. So if somebody's trying to come to them with just for materialistic gain and stuff like that, or like just for status and wealth, or like I said before, to manipulate them just for money and stuff like that, they will see that and be able to cut them away and be like, yeah, no, separate themselves from them. Right, so now we have Death, the Magician, and the Four of Cups. These all came out together. Okay, I'm gonna hold this. Hold on. For me to show you. There we go. Yeah. So, with the Death card being here, something got to change. Something needs to change and transform. Come to an end. See that? That bird, the Death card? Can't come back to life. There's no way to revive it. All is just bones at this point. Like it's done. Okay, skeletons. There's nothing left. Okay, there's nothing left here for you to stay. Like I said with those trees, there's no leaves, no nothing. Even this leaf or this plant right here is withering. There's no reason to be here and to continue giving to it. You have to accept that and realize that to make that transition, that change. Because the Magician is also an alchemy card, right? You have all the tools and materials that you need to do the trick. Full Metal Alchemist, you have all the materials that you need to like do the whole like transmutation table, like circle and stuff like that, and like form whatever you need to form, right? But with the Four of Cups, there's disappointment. You're too busy focusing on, but with the mouse here, you're not paying attention to details, for one, overlooking a lot of details or a few details with this crescent moon. Not everything is not being shown to you or illuminated to you, right? And you still follow them out in the cold. They told you probably what you wanted to hear, not what you needed to hear. Okay? And just like how this have a dark background and this had like a similar dark background, but the light is coming in, the clarity starts to come in that this has to change. Nothing will come of this. Because the Magician could also, right? He has a hand on his pentacle, right? What's the cheetah? The cheetah has a hand on the pentacle, who also has a hand on the pentacle. Trickster, that leads to disappointment. They're flashy, status, wealth, abundance. You didn't fully pay attention to all the details, reading between the lines. You found them out in the cold, and now you're burdened by something. If you had asked more questions, you probably would have been able to, be like, hey, I'm good. There's not opportunity for me. Right? And then we have the sun. You see? See? Because the sun illuminates all. Right? And then this, like, you see how this little spot right here is similar to this spot. You see how that's dark? And then the sun isn't dark? It's saying, hey. If you had actually, like, spent some time, sat with the person, asked some questions, you would have realized something isn't right here. It's a trickster energy. It's an illusion. They didn't have everything that they needed to do the trick. They didn't have all the resources that they need, which is why they are not telling you the full truth, not speaking their full truth. It's very materialistic, hiding behind materialistic things because they feel like that will make them feel on certain people's levels, but you still not on their. You might can dress the part and look the part, but either way, you're still not on my level. Like if I have a conversation with you, ask you certain questions, that will how I realize you're not on my level. We're not on the same level. And then it doesn't simply. I kick the table. With that, with the service that coming out twice, it doesn't mean just because I'm not on your level, you're not on my level, that we can't be friends. I can help you, get to where you want to be, but I can't help you if you don't ask for help. And if you sit here trying to use me and manipulate me and stuff like that, try to bring me down to your level because we're not on the same level. And even if you're trying to bring me down to your level, the things I'll probably be able to do at your level will still blow your mind, right? So it's just like, you can't compete where you can't compare. And it is what it is. Everybody had their own little unique stamp that they're going to leave on the world. Find yours and leave it. Your stamp is not to mock or mimic somebody else's stamp. Find your own. And the sun is the happiest card in the deck. With this kindness, start being kind to yourself. Then you want to surround yourself with people that is mutually kind to you, that give you back the same type of kindness and respect that you're giving them. And separate yourself from those people that try to belittle you, bring you down, or degrade you. Because if you're giving them kindness and they just giving you that, that's not equal give and take. So, go about your business. Next, we have the Empress. Right? Now it's hard. I already showed you. Feminine and masculine. Like, and the Empress, she has it's all four queens. Balance. She's all balanced four queens. Now, from time to time, one might, she might be in one energy more than the other. Like, she might be in like a Queen of Swords energy more than the rest of them, because that's probably what's called for right now, right? But either way, she can go back in between, like all four queens. But she's balanced in all four queens, right? And then we also have this little crescent moon again. So it's just like, you have the skills and material inside yourself to be stable and balanced, right? Not looking for validation and love and support from outside of yourself, because you can give that to yourself. And the people that's trying to give it to you can be trying to be very manipulative and gossiping about you behind your back. So it would be best to just do it in like silence and quiet by yourself, so you don't get led astray by somebody else. And the Empress, she doesn't chase, she attracts. So if you're negative, that's all you're going to attract is negativity, because that's what you're putting out. That's what you're vibrating. Negative energy. So people in higher vibrational energy is not going to be around you, for one. And two, those negative energies is going to want to come to you. Moth to a flame. And then those negative people, negative energies, those tricksters can probably realize, if you change, we will no longer have anything in common. So I need to keep you negative, bring it down even more, so that you don't feel powerful to leave. Right? Or they can just drain you of all your, they tell you what they want you to do, and you do it for them. You're living the life that they pretty much planned for you, not the life that you actually wanted. Complacency. Then we have the Knight of Cups. Right, gain it too. Needed to gain the confidence and go on a spiritual journey. Cause then, hold on, let me see the next card before. Okay, then it's Five of Swords, which is self-sabotage, not picking and choosing your battles wisely. But you're doing that out of fear, and you don't have the confidence to make with this loneliness and priority. You're not prioritizing your own happiness. You're prioritizing the other person's happiness and living your life the way that they want you to live your life, not the way that you want to live your life. You followed somebody on the code and making them, not even making them, but allowing them to you just following them out in the cold, and they don't know where they're going either. So it's like blind leading the blind. They have hurt in their heart because she out here crying, you crying. You can't be each other's peace. They don't know what peace is. There's not peace inside them. So how can they be your peace? Right? Inner and outer conflict. Reactive. There's no peace. Separation. That will bring you peace. Like getting out of this. You have to accept that. Because if you don't, you just be contemplate. Like, not even contemplation. Complacency. There we go. Not contemplation. Complacency. And that's being short-sighted. Because you don't have to stay with this person. Especially if it's a karmic. But this, because I keep looking at the infinity. If it's a loop, like I said, it could be a lesson that you didn't learn or you didn't master from a past cycle. With this Ace of Swords here, you can now see clearly. Okay? See clearly. That, and plus with the sun here, it's illuminating. You can see clearly. Truth is being shown to you. And if you try to ignore it and or suppress it, you just doing yourself a disservice. And slowing down your own growth, believing that somebody else can give you everything that you can't give yourself, which is false. It's called self-love. You have to love yourself first. You have to be able to love yourself first and accept yourself. How are you going to accept somebody else if you don't? How can you love somebody else if you don't know how to love yourself? How can you expect somebody else to love you the right way if you don't know how you want to be loved? That kind of thing. But yeah, don't talk about other people's misfortunes as if you're better than somebody else, because you're probably not. And if they was on your level, they probably would still blow you out the water or surprise you with what they can do. So just like, stop. Focus on yourself. Run your own race at your own pace. And let them do what they got to do to better themselves. Now, if it's the truth, it's a fact, still don't really got to gossip about it, but if it was brought up in a conversation and it's, somebody's trying to gossip, you can simply say the fact and put an end to that gossip. That's actually helping somebody. Right? Oh, like in one show I was watching, right? She's very smart, right? And she's wanted to be a lawyer and all this stuff. She was the head of her class and everything. It's just because she had autism, why they didn't really want to hire her and stuff like that. They were short-sighted and they missed out on a great attorney. Like, she wouldn't be a top of her class and graduated if she wasn't able to do her job. You feel me? So don't just focus on one little thing or one little downfall and try to gossip about that and carry it around, because that's just one thing. Like, I'm dyslexic. Okay, fine. I have to get extra time. I don't really have to. But I can. I can get extra time on my test. I have the option of using that if I want to. Just because I can doesn't mean I actually need it. Now I have to explain that to one of my professors, because he was short-sighted and tried to tell me, even though I didn't give him the paper, he saw it over my shoulder and then pretty much tried to stop me before leaving class to ask me for the paper. And I'm just like, I use it for a test, not a quiz. I know myself, and I know I can get through a quiz in the amount of time needed and provided to me. so I don't need to give you the paper. Okay? Now, the professors or tests and stuff like that needed it had that paper. You don't need that paper because I don't need it for this class, which is a lab. We don't have, like, quizzes every day. And then plus a sheet of paper is fine. When it's multiple sheet of paper, that's the problem. Okay? So just like, and then even when we had quizzes and tests, not even that we didn't have a test, but when we didn't have a quiz, I did it in the amount of time. Simply proved to him, like, I'm good, I'm fine. Don't know why you asked for the paper that you weren't even supposed to see anyways. You see it? Trying to control the situation. And trying to talk me into giving him a paper for what? I don't need it. It would have been a waste of time and a waste of paper. Then I have to get another paper to go give to the actual professor that I needed to give it to. Why would I do all that? For what? For what? When I could just accept the situation as is, was balancing myself to accept, like, hey, this is not my first rodeo, not my first lab. I know I don't need it in a lab. It's like my junior year. Like, I just not the first lab I took. Like, it's just, like, you know? So it's just like, it's very short-sighted. And if I gave them that paper, like I said, it's just, no. You're not going to intimidate me to try to give you a paper. Especially if it's a paper that you weren't supposed to know about. And, sorry. So you just gotta accept that some people is gonna try to, like, mislead you, guide you, like, lead you astray. You're gonna be intimidated by you, belittle you, talk down to you. Because they fighting something. And, yeah, that's simply just it. Right? They will tell you what they want you to hear and not what you need to hear. He wanted a paper, so he was trying to tell me the things that I needed to hear to give him the paper. Did he get the paper? No. Because he does not need a paper. If I gave him the paper, I would have been burdened to go back to the actual office, which was not in the same building. Okay? Had to go to a whole different building to go to that office to ask for another paper to give to the actual professor that would have gave me test, okay? To go to the other building to give it to that professor. Too much. That would have been burden on me that I didn't need. Stress on my plate that I did not need. So I nip that right in the bud. You don't need the paper. If it's a false flame, nip that in right in the bud. You don't have to be there forever. Learn the lessons. Get out of it. Because the contract is null and void anyways. Y'all won't have nothing in common anyways. So, y'all just wasting each other's time being in each other's faces. And that's short-sighted. Pick and choosing your battles wisely. You still letting this person have access to you for no reason. And like they said, a karmic will destroy you. It will heal one specific thing, but then destroy everything else. Like, oh, you need to learn about self-esteem, self-worth? That's great. Now have you questioning your sanity, how you love, what is love? Because you think like this, me and you, this is love, right? Come to find out when I leave, all of a sudden, oh, that's not love. See? Karmic will destroy you. Now you have to learn those lessons, realize, and just be discerned that some people is going to lie to you, trick you, manipulate you, try to use, charm you, and abuse you. Trying to be controlling, control you in a situation, stalk you. That's not love. If it reminds you of you, Joe, it's not love. Okay? What's another bad relationship? Ike and Tina. The Jackson 5. I don't want you, I don't want you, I don't want you. If it reminds you of that, get out of it. You don't need to be there. But other than that, right, with this disappointment, yeah. Because normally with the the fours of cups, you're focusing on the 3 cups in front of you, right, and not seeing that the help of spirit coming to you is being offered to you, right? Because you're too busy focusing on what's going on in front of you and thinking that's okay when it's not really okay. And that has to change to come to an end. Because it's just a trickster. But yeah, that's all I'm seeing for this reading. If you feel like this reading resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe. I'll try to see if there's anything else, but I don't think there's anything else I wanted to say. But other than that, thank you for watching. If you're not the one gossiping about somebody's gossiping about you, so keep your moves quiet and hidden. With the moon's here. Alright? Don't tell everybody your business. Be low-key. Right? And if you do want to share with people, you know the people who you can share with. When I was talking about the red, yellow, and green, like, stop. Caution. Think about it for a moment. And then, because once you think about it for a moment, you know who you can share with, who you can't share with. And who you can trust or who you can't trust. And if you need help, you know who to go to for help. Right? Because I look back here. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing for this reading. If you feel like this reading resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe. Other than that, thank you for watching. Bye.